Please welcome Personal Remedies. You can use that mic for now.
I'm going to do that when I'm done. Is that okay? Good evening, everyone. Mory Bahar, Personal Remedies. And let's advance to our first slide so we are fully audio-visualized for you. We have produced a fully automated, AI-based e-dietitian that can provide highly personalized dietary guidance that ties to your personal profile, which could be composed of a number of health issues, chronic illnesses, dietary preferences, medications you're taking, allergies that you might have. So how do we do that? We have the ability to digest and aggregate all kinds of research on relationship between nutrients and various health conditions, as well as relationship between different food items and various illnesses. Once we digest that, our patented software can make a connection between every food item and every illness. Let's clarify something. There are no clinical studies that you can use to find out if grilled octopus is good for cervical cancer. There is no such study, and nobody is ever going to finance that because there's no money in it. You can't patent octopus. But there is a lot of science about relationship between various nutrients and cervical cancer, and there's a lot of information about nutrient content of octopus. Our algorithms use all that information to make that connection. So how do we monetize this? 4 ways. 1, our website can today provide totally personalized guidance to you if you so desire, personalremedies.com, which we also license to our telehealth partners and customers. 2, we have a collection of 36 mobile apps. Each is focused on one chronic illness and its common comorbidities. And it's got a very intuitive user interface, as you can see. This is actually a screenshot of our latest app on alcohol use disorder. I tried to pick an example that this crowd can relate to. I saw all those beers and wines and everything, and I said, Mory, you got to kind of tie to the crowd here. 3rd, we have a skill called My Dietitian available for Echo Alexa users that provides guidance for the most common 20X conditions. Finally, we have an open API, which is the subject of our discussion and demo today, which allows developers worldwide to access our sophisticated knowledge base. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. Let's go to... And then the best way to really demo an API, which is something that may get developers excited, but not the rest of us, is to look at a given app that we have developed. One of our developers, in a matter of few hours, developed this app. So I'm going to get some audience participation here, if you would, please. Somebody give me some less common food, please. Any less common fish or nuts or vegetables or fruits? Come on, show off. One at a time.
Daikon. The root.
Okay, I don't know how to spell that right now. What's the other one? Okay, snails. You guys challenge me. Let me come here and say a snail right there. Now, somebody give me some less common health condition and illness, not common stuff like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or that kind. Give me something uncommon, please. Crohn's disease. So I'm going to just type in Crohn's right there. So now our app accesses our API and comes back with a representation of whether a snail is good or bad for Crohn's disease. And since we haven't been using this, as you can see, it's thinking about it. Can everybody see that diagram? So it tells you that it's slightly helpful to that condition. Do I have more time? I have more time. Oh, I have to reserve for Q&A. Thank you, Tom. So I will shut up and give you a chance to ask me questions. Okay, so we have ability to basically monetize 4 ways, 2 of which are currently working. One is we charge for our apps. We have 40,000 downloads of our apps worldwide, available on both app stores, all leading app stores. So that's one way. But that's really not a very good way to make money if you're a startup and your brand is not well known. So the primary target market for us is to go after providers. We have clinics, we have telehealth organizations as our focus. And we have signed some up, but we can always sign up some more. Did I answer your question? Yes, sir?
I say interconnections that you have between food substances, maladies, illnesses. How many connections do you have in this dictionary of solutions?
The ultimate number of connections is number of illnesses multiplied by number of food items, nutrients, and alternative and herbal remedies that we track. So multiply about a couple of hundred by about 1,500, and that's how many unique connections we have. But in order to establish those unique connections between a given food item and a given health condition, there are hundreds of thousands of bits of information. We track 90 different nutrients, for example, right? So if you just multiply 90 by 1,500 food items that we have, you get a monster number. And similarly, the relationship between food items and nutrients itself is enormous. Some nutrients facilitate absorption of another, some block absorption of another, some increase the demand for another. So there's all kinds of pros and cons that our algorithms have to take into account. So it's a very complex problem. Took us a long time to get here. I just look young, but I've been doing this for a long time.
And would you say there's better efficacy food as opposed to getting it via a pill?
Well, I'll be very biased in my answer there. My passion is my belief that food is the best way to treat our illnesses. So I'm very biased, okay? Everybody talks about food is the best medicine. Nowadays, some people say food is the future of medicine. Well, we are the enabling technology for it. We tell you which food for what disease. Nobody on the planet does that. Yes, sir?
Are these connections static, meaning you already have them, you've done the pre-processing and they're all there as links? Or do you do the analysis and is it like a big data analysis as you get the question?
We do not do the analysis in real time as you suggested. There is some process that happens in advance. So as soon as I go to the system and I introduce a brand new disorder, which is what I did recently, alcohol use disorder, and digested all the technology, all the research and data related to impact of food on alcohol use disorder, as soon as I introduce that to the system, then our knowledge base and our algorithms basically recompute all those relationships so that when we are live, it doesn't have to do all that analysis.
Your program take into account all the things that go along with it. When you have snails,
For every one of those, you can ask the question.
so you have to ask which one, or it doesn't take into account like.
I hear you. Basically, there are 2 things we can do. One is, for individual ones, we can answer that question. 2, there are recipes here. I'm going to give you quickly here one example because Tom is going to put a contract on me soon if I don't do that. For example, marinated pork tenderloin is a recipe, right? So it takes into account the things you're talking about. In which case my system comes back and says, for Crohn's disease, it is slightly harmful for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time.